Hey everyone, JD Geeks here. Today is the second part of my Nerf collection video. Today I will be talking about a blaster that a lot of people have an issue with. I personally like it, but a lot of other people don't. Today we'll be talking about the Mark 1.2 from Dart Zone. There are some slight issues with this blaster that I will cover. And some people might have an issue with that for the price unless they can find it on sale like I did. Other than that, though, I think this blaster is great. So let's jump right into it. Overall, this blaster shoots around 200 FPS to 220, I think, with bamboos. We will see later in the chronograph testing. Let's go over the issues with this blaster first, because I know that's what a lot of people are worried about. So the average price of this blaster, if you cannot find it on sale, is about $100. I thankfully did find it on sale. They were doing a discount. I think I got it for 60 or 65 because no one wants this blaster because of the issues that it has. But there's one very simple solution that I can show you, and it will solve all of the jamming issues that a lot of people have. Let's go over some of the other issues with this blaster first, though. First up, the stock. Although it looks very, very cool, even from the other side, although it looks cool, the stock has a slight issue. It is an end strike attachment stock, which is cool if you like end strike. You can just throw on your favorite stock and there you go. I personally prefer buffer tubes, so I like to leave the buffer tube on here. But this buffer tube has a slight issue in my opinion. It is also on a hinge. If you fully extend the stock and you push this little button right here, it actually folds and it clips like you don't have a stock at all. So you can run a little bit more close quarters with it. I've personally never wanted to do that with this blaster. I'm fine with running any CQB with the stock fully collapsed. That's just how I do it. And then because of that hinge in the end strike and the weakness in the actual buffer tube itself, if you have it fully extended and you try to use this at all, there's a lot of flex. That's minimized if you have it in the shortest setting and you can actually use the stock pretty well. But that is one big issue that people have. But if you have a favorite end strike stock, you could just throw that on here and that'll solve the issue of the stock that at least I have and some other people have as well. Next up is the rubberized grips. Although they look very, very cool and they feel very, very good while using this blaster, they do spin. These rubber grips are not stuck in any way. And when I'm using it, I don't really have an issue with the grip spinning, but when I just like pick it up, I can kind of like turn it like that. That is a slight issue in my opinion. But if you just super glue it or put some tape under there to really hold it down, you shouldn't really have an issue with it, and it should solve that problem. And the last problem that people really have with this blaster is the jamming issue. There is a very, very small screw hole right there, if you can see it. And that actually is from the dart guide that comes stock on this blaster. This blaster comes with a dart guide built in, and it's supposed to help guide the dart into the chamber so it can shoot and it won't fold or jam or anything like that. It actually does the complete opposite. It causes the dart to fold up, to jam in the blaster. And although jams are very easy to get out of this blaster, and I'll show you why in just a minute, all you have to do is remove one screw, take out a couple parts, and that dart guide comes right out. Once I removed that dart guide, I have had zero jamming issues with this blaster, and I have tried to jam it. This blaster, once I took that out, I started to absolutely love it. And it took maybe 5 minutes to remove that dart guide. It is a very, very simple fix, and anyone can do it with just a small, I think it's a Phillips head screwdriver. It has been a while since I worked on it, but I do believe it was a Phillips head. And all right, let's move into some of the benefits of this blaster. As I mentioned before, this blaster shoots about 200 to 220 FPS. With the bamboo darts that it has, I think it's 220 to 230. But with long ruby darts, the normal length, it does shoot about 200. Some of the other benefits are the daytime iron sights. It does have the little glowing, well, with the light, they look like they glow for the top of the sights. And that really does help line up your sight picture. Other than that, the other benefits are the rubberized grips do help you hold your blaster a bit better. It also is compatible with other Dart Zone B cars. So I did purchase this B car separately and put this onto my blaster just to add a little bit of accuracy when I use it. But the biggest bonus, in my opinion, is this one quick release pin. Technically there are two, but it's connected. This right here, if you ever have a jamming issue, you just pull this out, slide the blaster forward, and there you go. It is completely apart. You can reach in here, you can get the dart out, you can do whatever you need to, pick it up, throw that back together, push this back in, and then you are ready to go again. It is very simple, very easy, and this is a very, very cool feature of this blaster. Another feature of this blaster is the fact that it can do both, as I said earlier, long and short length darts. The prime on this blaster isn't incredibly hard. I don't want to do it right now because I don't have any darts in, but I will do it for the chronograph test. The prime is easy. It can do both the short and long darts, which is incredible. Overall, I think this would be a pretty good entry-level blaster for some people, especially people that prefer the long darts. This one probably shoots the hardest that takes both long darts, at least, that you could buy from a store like Target or Walmart, although you do have to purchase this specific one online. Other than that, some competitors for this blaster, they are technically in a slightly cheaper price range unless you get this on sale. For about, I think it's $50 to $60, you can get either the Nexus Pro X or the Max Striker 2.0, the new green version of it. That blaster, both of them shoot about 200 feet per second, and they are both only Talon compatible, only the half-length darts. They do not shoot full-length darts like this blaster does. They only take half-length, which for some people won't be an issue, but for the people that do like the full-length darts, this would be the blaster for you. Those other two, one comes with 2 magazines, slam fire, a scope, a B car. It comes stock with a B car and a P car, a plastic scar. That next is the Nexus Pro X. The Nexus Pro X, though, you can only purchase at Walmart. The Max Striker 2.0, that blaster is at Target. That blaster only comes with a P car, no B car. And then it comes with 1 Talon mag and a drum mag. If you like the way that drum mags look, I mean, you can't really go wrong with it. That one holds more ammo and it shoots half-length darts too. And it comes with really, really good bamboo darts, which the Nexus Pro X does not do. This blaster does come with 2 15-round half-length mags, no full-length mags with it, but it does come with 30 bambooed mags from Dart Zone, or darts from Dart Zone. But other than that, let's get right into the chronograph testing. I will see you at the chronograph. All right, so if you did watch my last video of the Max Striker, you would have seen that the half-length darts actually did worse than the full-length darts. So I am curious on if it is going to be the same thing here. So the way that I'm going to do this is 3 full-length darts, 3 of the ruby half-length darts, and then 3 of the bamboo darts that come stock with this blaster. All right, and as promised, to see the prime, I can very easily finger prime this blaster. Just my pointer finger, and it is very easy. All right, now let's get into FPS. We got 191.2, 185.5, and finally 198.3. Pretty consistent, not too bad. The full-length darts are actually pretty good with this blaster, but overall I do recommend short length from what I have seen in my use. And again, this blaster has the same issue as the Max Striker, which I forgot to mention. You do have to prime before you can load in half-length darts, which neither the Striker 2.0 or Nexus Pro X have an issue with. And I believe both of those blasters also do slam fire. This blaster does not. But all right, let's test out the 3 normal ruby darts. We got 211.7, and then we got 213.9, and the last ruby dart 210.6. So as you can see, those ruby darts, the half length, did improve the FPS on this blaster. That is again why I recommended the half length initially. But all right, next up we have the bamboo darts that come stock with the blaster. All right, we got 227.5, 228.7. Oh, I'm covering up the FPS. And finally, 226.1. As you can see, bamboo darts definitely do help improve the FPS. All right, let's go back to the display. All right, now that we are back from the chronograph test, as you saw with this blaster, unlike the Max Striker in my first video, the full-length darts do actually shoot slower than the half-length darts. Not only did the normal half-length ruby darts shoot 20 FPS faster, the bamboo darts shot 20 FPS faster than the normal half-length ruby darts. This blaster does get pretty good FPS for the price range. There are other blasters that are more expensive that can obviously shoot harder, but for this price range, especially if you get it on sale, this blaster is a very, very good blaster, and I would recommend it. This is one of my favorite blasters, and I do have more expensive blasters like the Harrier or the Saber Apex Prime. Both of these blasters, or this blaster and the Max Striker, are both pretty good blasters to get into it. But if you do end up getting a bit more into the hobby, you will probably end up getting other blasters as well. But in my personal recommendation, if you don't care about long darts, I would personally recommend getting the Max Striker 2.0. That blaster is at Target. They also sell the Venom Pro at Target. So you can get a primary and a secondary blaster for the price of this when it is not on sale. If this is on sale and you would prefer to get this blaster, I would recommend it. But if you want to keep it around $100, getting the Max Striker 2.0 and the Venom Pro gets you 2 very good blasters. The Venom Pro is a fully automatic pistol that I will be showing in a later video. I do not have the Striker 2.0 because I do have this blaster, but it is also very, very good. I have had my buddies and I used it, and that one was very solid. If you have any other questions, let me know in the comments section below. And that about wraps up my summary of the Dart Zone Mark 1.2. And all right, JD Geeks signing off.